Video, same story going on, right? I just checked the chicken in the oven. There's a chicken with the duxelle, just in case you forget. Right, the duxelle. I made the roux, and then I was going to do a zucchini and carrot, just a vegetable medley. We've done like carrots vichy. We've done quite a few vegetables already, and my personal preference though is simple, well-cooked carrots, any vegetable. As long as it's well cooked, seasoned well, it's good. It doesn't have to be fancy. I really don't like, I do tournaise and things like that, but I like when things are more of a natural shape and color. The carrot zucchini together is very, very nice, but what the difference is, carrots are like woods. Zucchini is very soft, right? This is a very soft vegetable, it's a very hard one. How do you cook these two together? We're going to have to blanch these off first, okay? So what I'm going to do is peel them. And peel it well. Give it a quick rinse. Mirepoix. Okay, these you could use for mirepoix once again. The scrapings, of course not. This would go in your garbage can. Don't think of that as anything there. So I'm looking at, this is an odd shaped carrot. This is actually really a weird shaped carrot. I've never seen one it looked like a double carrot. It was going to turn into a double carrot. So it's going to be a hard cut, an odd cut. So I'm going to try to make the best we can out of it. Because once again, classical cooking, it should be uniform in size. Once again, wow, that is an odd little, it's very woody. It's very hard there. Okay, we're going to go with, as it gets thicker, I'm cutting it thinner for cooking time purposes. Yeah, I don't know if I'm happy with that. I should have went with rondelles, but it's okay. It's okay. The end piece here, this is all pretty rough. Realistically, or classically, keep that off for mirepoix. Once again, you want kind of nice shapes. Zucchini, the same idea. We're going to do with quarter it. Now we're taking two items that cook very, very differently. Zucchinis have a lot of water in it. Carrots have none. So that's why we're going to have to blanch it first. But what we want to do is mix them together. Toss with salt and pepper and butter. Saute with little onions. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with a simple, well-seasoned vegetable. But what we're going to have to do is definitely get this blanched first. And we have a nembi and some water. What do we put in the water when we're blanching? Always salt. Always add salt to your water. Do we have to blanch the zucchini? No zucchini. This time, springtime is really nice. Do we blanch that? No. We're going to blanch only the carrots, and it's called par cooking, P-A-R, cooking. Par cooking means to cook halfway or more. How much more? Half of 75%. But if you notice, a lot of things we do cook here in the kitchen, you cook par. You cook halfway, 80%. What we're going to do here is take off these ends, the mirepoix ends, that's for sure. All right. Because what we want to do, once again, with classical French cooking, you do want to kind of have a nice square shape. And there you go. Very, very simple. You should know by now how we're going to cook this. We're going to blanch these, shocking them in cold water. Sweat the onions, add zucchini and carrots together, toss it. We're going to do it in whole butter, of course. You can deglaze with a little chicken stock for flavor. You're going to let that boil. So you got that going, that going. I'm going to go down to the oven. I like to bring it down to the oven, but it can't really move all this equipment. So I'll be right back, okay? Okay, good. I just checked the chicken, cooking really nice. I have salted water. I'm going to blanch my carrots. I'm going to par cook them. Like we said, par cooking means to cook them almost 100%, but not 100% because we're going to saute it. All right. Got my roux ready. Just, once again, nice roux. If a roux smells like bread, you're done. It has a bread smell to it. All right. Okay. It's carrots simmering, not boiling. Right? We simmer things. I got my stock simmering, ready to go. I got a pot for the sauce. Right? Because we're gonna make a little mustard sauce. Actually, a little different. Actually, because I saw we have the peppers, the roasted peppers from the other class. Right? So we'll do a roasted pepper sauce. Mustard roasted peppers sounds very, very nice with the chicken, that's for sure. All right. No substitute for chopping, that's for sure. Yeah, you don't need my face. Nah. Yeah. I know the PDs. It's very hard working with a camera like this because the PDs, the volunteers themselves, they do a really, really good job. But once again, we're all new at this. We're all new at this. We're not professional camera people. I'm not a professional TV chef. Give me a kitchen, I'll cook, that's for sure. But when it comes to filming and things, it is challenging. It really is. It's a pretty different lifestyle, that's for sure. Let's see. Let's add a little garlic because we like garlic, and it is very French. This garlic is not very good garlic either. It's pretty old. So that's sad. Yeah. My carrots should be almost close to done for shocking. How long does it take? Once again, it takes experience. That's all it does. You could do the knife test, like we did with the tournaise. Come on. They are. I would consider them done. Let me just chop up my garlic a bit. Give them a few more minutes in the hot water. Because we will cook them again, so we don't have to worry about it that much. But they have to be blanched, parboiled to work. I'll be right back. Right, you can follow me this way. And shocking. Once again, that's a very important step. Because if you don't, they'll overcook. They'll just steam and overcook. And we'll put this over here for as needed when we're ready for it. See how hot this pan is. I don't want it too hot. So we did a lot of pan sauces, a la minutes, right? What we're going to do now, we're going to do one in an MB. And it really, once again, it is pretty much the same thing. I'm going to use a little olive oil. No, I'm not. I want to use butter. Why? Flavor. And so I do like, at home I cook with olive oil. I do a lot of cooking with olive oil, so I have a tendency to like that flavor. But once again, whole butter, when it comes to classical French cooking, you can't go wrong. All right. So there you are. Just enough in there to sweat the onions and garlic. Let's see, we got brandy, we got red wine, we got white wine. I don't see the brandy. Oh, there's the brandy. What do you guys think? Brandy or red wine or white wine? Does it really matter? Not really. The duxchix is a very dark color, so if we did a red wine sauce, it'd be fine. I think I'm going to prefer the brandy myself. So just give me a second. And get the brandy. It was over there. Things get moved around. That's another difficult thing about this. You try to do several things at the same time. Right? You sweat it now. Same method with flambéing, right? You make sure, right, that you take it off the heat, pour it in, tip it over. Keep your face away from it. Really. Really. Swirl it around. You can see the tiny bubbles forming. Right, when the flames go out, we're going to add our chicken stock. Make sure the flames go out. And sometimes you can't see them. You got to be very careful. Because you pour in the stock, it can once again flare up again, and then that's a surprise. Now our garnish, as I said, is going to be the roasted peppers, and we have all different size shapes. So probably the best thing to do is just small dice what we can. This is the burnt part. That's fine. But might as well take off extra. Right. Turn this down a little. Nothing wrong with reducing chicken stock. It adds a lot of flavor. At this point now, too, do we have any... gee, I keep putting things away. Bay leaves. Once again, it's a key flavoring ingredient. See, every time I say I take a break, come back, we'll clean up a little, have a tendency to start putting everything away. But we kind of need it again, so we'll let that go. Take out the big knife because we're running out of time here. This is going to be a nice sauce. This will be a very nice sauce. This you could use in salads. Like I said, there's nothing to waste in the kitchen. Well, of course there's some, but this is actually very, very nice. What I'm going to do now is whip in a little roux, a little at a time. All right. Right. I'm going to probably use about twice as much as that. But what you do is a little at a time, and you let it cook in. As you can see now, it's halfway there. Now, once again, every chef, they all have their own ideas, their own methods, and things like that. I always do things that are half by half. Seasoning, half the salt, half the pepper. Where's our pepper? Did I put the pepper away? Really? Hold on. Missing. Goodness. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. It's right in front of me. It's time to go home, folks. I tell you. Once again, I'm pretty heavy-handed on the pepper because I do like pepper on there. What do I have now? It's a velouté, right? It's a simple velouté. It's dark because of stock. As you can see, it was almost a perfect amount of. Here we go. It's gonna be thick, but not nappe. Right. I'm gonna have to run down to the end of the kitchen and check check the chicken. It should be done. How do you tell anything's done in roasting and things like that? It's by feel, but it's by temperature. Every chef has one of these things. You should have one of these because everything else is a guess, and you want to make sure that you have it right. So we're going to cut it. You're going to take a break. I'm going to take a run, and I'm going to turn this down a bit so I don't burn it. Okay. Rolling. Okay. The chicken. Check the chicken. 1 more minute. Still making the sauce. I'm going to add my final batch of roux. Once again, little by little. It's just about that much. Now our garnish is going to be these peppers, which add a lot. They will add moisture to it. They're going to add water. I'll take this bay leaf out now. We don't really need that. All right. You'll take the peppers and throw them in. And once again, like I said, it might look a little thick, but there's actually a lot of pepper juice in these. A lot of flavor, believe it or not. I mean, you guys might not think there is, but it has that barbecue type of smell and flavor to it. You'll let that cook out a bit. Once again, you remember to cook your roux out. Make sure you cook your roux quite well. Now I'm going to start the vegetables, and I'm going to use olive oil for the vegetables for 2 reasons. First of all, I like caramelized onions. I like the onions when they're a little more browned. And if you use it with butter, you're going to end up burning it. And you definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to strain off my carrots. I don't know if we're going to get this done in a lot of time. How much time's left on this video, this segment? 8 minutes. That's cutting it close. That's for sure. I'll be like slapping everything together. Gosh. Yeah, I guess so. Because this has to cook a bit. That's nice. Nice stock. Nice stock. Nice. I'm really at a loss what to do. We got some time, but not a lot to finish this off in this one particular video. What I'm going to do is switch gears a bit, change gears, move this over here. Even that won't have enough time. Gosh, okay, let me do the vegetables. Let me do the vegetables, only because they do take some time to cook. The roux has to cook out. There's no way you can't do a roux in 5 minutes. You have to have it definitely cook out more. So if you notice here too, I put a fair amount of oil in there because what I'm going to do is caramelize these onions. Caramelize means brown. I want to brown them to sweeten them up. Now, a lot of times with Korean cooking, a lot of times you guys, green onions, spicy, white onions, young pa is too sweet. Yeah, they are kind of sweet in a certain aspect. I'm going to shoot a little stock in here. Oh, God bless you. God bless you. Let's hope it's only just a little sneeze. There we go. You see now the onions are browning nicely around the edges. We're going to just turn this down a bit. Let me adjust my sauce. It's good nappe. Well, shingapta. I'm going to add a little salt. And we're going to do this a little Dijon mustard. It says is part of the flavoring ingredient. Very French. They like mustard sauces. I like mustard sauces. Be careful of the yellow mustard. I brought this up too. This stuff is very vinegary. This you can't really cook with. So if you, oops, sorry, right? This is good for like hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. But to cook with it, way too much cicho, too much vinegar in there. This is a much better one. Not too much too. Once again, they're just light components. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let once again. Now the roux is cooked out on this. That's for sure. It's almost ready to go. I'm going to finish it off with butter and sang cream. Once again, like we do with a la minute. We can add the sang cream now. Butter always at the end. And like I say, I always recommend to you guys, turn off the heat if you can, when you add the butter. Well, that's a nice sauce. And I like that garnishing. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, they're about done. And now at this point, I'm going to add a little salt to the onions to take out any extra water. Get my zucchini in there. Let's see how my carrots are. Perfect. Carrots almost just have to be heated. Now I'm going to turn this up a bit and add a little chicken stock. What it's going to do is steam, reduce, and add a certain flavor to it. Add our carrots, a little pepper, already added salt, remember. Chop a little parsley for garnishing in it and flavor. We could add other herbs if we had herbs. I've used all the thyme up. I'm out of time, folks. Ran out of time. Now, I originally was going to put a little butter in here, but since we're making a pretty heavy sauce, it doesn't make sense to you don't want to make it too heavy. Look at it that way. Okay. If you notice, the stock is all but disappeared. Okay. And we should be coming to the end of this segment. All right. 2 more minutes to run through on that, and that's fine with that. That's for sure. And we're going to let that cook. Let me get my plate ready. Oh, I actually can just take out let me show you the bird. Let me show you the bird. I'll turn that down. Those are done. They're really, I mean, the way I like to do it. It's hot. Now there's a little funny thing it grew. It grew a fork. Before I put it in the oven, when this cooks, the skin will sometimes contract. Contract means shrink. So what I did, I put a fork through there so it wouldn't. It's still a little hot, so excuse me for handling it. But, all right. So this is our duxelle, which is now pretty firm, right? We got the duxchix. And once again, when we come back from the next video break, we'll put everything together. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that video. I tell you, we've been doing some good cooking here, that's for sure. And I know when we get back to face-to-face classes, it's only going to be better because you guys already now have this basics. You're starting to see patterns of cooking, about sweating, deglazing, the flavor ingredients, the mirepoix, the sachet de spice. This is what is the key ingredients of Western cooking, okay? I'll see you on the next video.